What's up, creeps? It's Jason, aka the Pope of Pain, and I'm here with my man Riley, Rigor Mortis Mask.
How's it going?
Hello.
Hey.
And we're back today because we're talking Friday the 13th, my favorite series, one of my favorite series.
Right.
I got a lot of favorite series, you know. And even more particular, Riley, we're talking about Friday the 13th Part 4.
The final chapter.
The final chapter.
False advertising.
Which, joke's on us, it wasn't. In fact, there's like 6 more. And then a reboot.
They had you back in 84. They didn't have
Son
me
of a
because I
bitch.
wasn't even a blood cell. In my dad's
Yeah.
leg, so.
Now, we all know that my love in my life is Part 3, right?
Right.
And I just have some history with that. If you guys have ever watched our channel and known that that's a big one for me.
Jungle
But-
Driving.
Yes, yeah, Jungle Driving. Well, look at Riley, did his homework.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's a cool story. I'm inspired.
Yes. But I want to get into Part 4. Now, Part 4, and the reason why, and you're looking at it right now, guys, and it was not him, not Riley.
Oh, do I look like him?
We're looking at a unpainted Jason bust. Yes, we're back. I guess we're back into the
The bust basement.
the bust basement again. Sorry,
We're getting busty.
not sorry on this. But I really think this is a cool piece, and I'm not even. People are like, "What the fuck am I looking at? What's going on?" Hold tight, guys, because I want to talk about Friday the 13th Part 4 first.
The greatest one.
Is it?
To me, it is.
Okay.
I have a connection with that movie. And
Do you?
We'll get into it in a minute.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's talk Friday the 13th Part 4. Guys, released obviously in 1984, which is a stellar year for movies, horror movies, right? You can always just Google that shit and take a look and see what was actually made in 84. It's an incredible year. So, well, I liked it. And like I said, it meant to be part of the last part of the series. Or was it just a marketing ploy? Probably, I'm going to guess a marketing ploy.
Probably both.
Yeah. Could be, man. But directed by Joseph Zito, who did The Prowler.
81.
Yeah, which is one of our favorites. We love that.
That's a great slow burn, fun slasher. Also, Tom Savini worked on.
He returns in this one, right? Because y'all know Savini did 1, and then he skipped 2 to do what?
The Burning.
Oh, okay.
Greatest slasher ever made.
I had to let Riley say that.
Oh yeah.
And then, but he came back for Part 4, right? Which is cool.
Return to finish what he started.
Yes, I agree. And to me, this is peak Jason Savage, right? I mean, he is just rough on this one, and he doesn't have his supernatural powers really yet. You know, it's just pure brutality. You know, a lot of physicality in this.
Yeah,
one.
He's a brute.
Yeah. Of course, we also have a new character named Tommy Jarvis in this thing, which is Corey Feldman. You know,
and that's where I kind of draw a connection to this movie, is because he's a young mask maker collector. I'm like, I'm not as talented enough to make masks, but the connection of the collecting and the enthusiasm for masks is why I'm here, you know?
Yeah, so absolutely, right?
I saw young me in that movie.
Was it when he shaved his head? Is that young you or no?
Well, usually I got that for being in trouble in school.
Oh, okay.
As a punishment.
But I think this one had some of the gnarliest kills, man.
Right.
You got the corkscrew, the machete slide, obviously, right?
Right.
The big savage beatdown and all that, the final part of it and all that stuff. It's pretty gruesome, and I like that. But I also, like I said, I think I like Jason the most in this. He grunts, he stumbles, he bleeds.
Oh, yeah.
He's not a zombie yet, you know?
Not quite.
He's just a pissed off human being.
Yeah.
And he's here for revenge, right? So that's why I like this, and that's why I want to get into here, because one day old Mr. Riley shows up here and he has this weird skin tone Jason bust. And I'm like, what in the hell am I looking at here? Right. And I'm thinking, okay, so, you know, obviously it's an unpainted bust, resin bust and everything. But I'm like, what am I looking at here? So without further ado, Riley, I'm just gonna let you talk about this thing and let's get into it. And what's happening?
You're looking at a special boy right here.
A special boy.
This is actually
his name was Jason.
Bust brought to fruition by Nathan Stafford, which is actually the first fully movie mold makeup Part 4 bust ever offered.
Wow.
Yeah, only 13 castings were made, and this piece actually derives because Nathan Stafford is actually lucky enough to find an original cut face casting of the Jason makeup off one of Ted White's cows. Ted White was the actor who played Jason Part 4. He was about 6'4", and he was actually one of the oldest actors to I think he was the oldest actor to play Jason.
I think
late 40s.
He
right?
was like he's known as like a stuntman in the John Wayne days.
Yeah, he's more of a cowboy actor.
Right.
You know, he did a lot of Western films and whatnot.
Yeah.
He had this big Texas guy, you know, big cowboy, and went to play a slasher, you know, so he probably didn't know what he was doing. But he just brought this physicality to the character, which was unmatched.
I love it.
And this derives from the cutout of one of the cows, one of the unaltered face makeups, and it was scanned digitally by Nathan Stafford, and it was layered on top of the old, used to see him in the 90s Morris costume catalogs. They called it the Mangler, which was a Tom Savini recast of the machete chest dummy from the final scene.
Yeah.
So the combination of the head and this were meticulously sized and whatnot to create the most seamless, accurate combination of the two pieces, because obviously no one else has an unaltered face casting of the makeup.
Right.
And this piece is, 1984, this thing is, 40-something years old, you know, now?
Yeah.
The makeup was.
Amazing.
And they combined them to get the most accurate. And this project, actually, part of the proceeds went to James Kagel, the original sculptor of the Friday the 13th Part 4 makeup. A lot of people have the misconception that Tom Savini sculpted it. But it's one of those things where, you know, he just kind of jumps into the camera, you know, like, you know.
Yeah,
but,
and that's funny you say that, because as soon as you put Savini's name on something, every other artist just gets put to the wayside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which sucks. And to find out that it was not a Savini sculpt,
right,
is
mind-blowing. Yeah,
which I love, actually.
And,
no offense. I like Tom. Nice job, Tom. You're a legend. But
he's known for the gore, you know.
Yeah.
And he was too busy creating other slashers like Cropsy, you know?
Yeah, that's
even
true.
better. But this piece, a lot of people misconcept that Tom Savini sculpted it. It was actually sculpted by James Kagel, a legendary sculptor who worked on films like Gremlins 2, Nightmare 3, I think Big Trouble in Little China, you know, like just a legendary sculptor. And they did 13 castings of this piece, tinted translucent resin, and it's foam filled. I'm 10 of 13, and it went towards a fund for James Kagel's prostate cancer treatment.
Yeah.
So it meant a lot more to be part of a project so limited. And pretty rad piece.
It's cool, because this is what we saw. This is exactly what I saw in the movie.
The raw makeup.
This is it. Yeah, the raw makeup.
Even the closed eye, you know. So it's a pretty impressive piece. And it's funny, a lot of people don't know, but the application and finishing and whatnot were done by Kevin Yeager, who worked on Nightmare 2. He worked on Bark on the Moon with Ozzy Osbourne, Sleepy Hollow, Child's Play, you know. So a lot of legendary artists on this film.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the truest makeup to young Jason from Part 1. So I think that's definitely why I like it. And he's just such a bulbous mutant, you know, that folded ear, that cleft palate, you know. He's just definitely the most mutant makeup in the series. And it's my favorite unmasked look, you know.
I agree. And it's really freaking cool. And I know, guys, you're probably not getting the full good view of this. And I'm bitching. I always bitch. I look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to change up this damn Mass Morgue set to, I don't know. We kind of threw it together and get better lighting and all that stuff. So for those who are sticking with us, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks all six of you.
We're one day we'll get out of Mom's basement here.
Oh yeah.
And actually have a real
Mama
set
Voorhees'
again.
Basement.
But so you're not really getting it's hard to see because this is all flesh color. I try to do some lighting on it. And hopefully our little walk arounds with this thing, you guys, when we do our little cuts ins and all that stuff, look a little bit better. But it's a really cool piece, especially if you're a diehard, you know, Friday the 13th fan, and to be able to see this is like the, you know, because everybody does their own renditions, or, you know, they try to get as close by using, you know, just pictures and all this stuff, but this is legit. This is it, man, you know?
And it might do more justice if I decide to get this piece finished eventually. There's a lot of talented artists out there.
That's what I was asking. I was going to ask this. Are you going to get this painted,
And it's funny, because I have a few busts at home that are just absolutely stunning, but sometimes I like having them raw because you just get to appreciate the raw detail, you know, without paint or blood or whatnot to dilute that. But it's truly an incredible piece. I probably will have it finished down the line.
Get it finished. I say get it finished. I don't know. I mean, once again, you know enough talented painters out there that will take this to the next level and give you the realism. I know you
bring it to life.
I know even on the wound up the top on his head, you like certain blood looks and all that stuff. Riley will talk about this for 17 years at the counter today, you know, and but which is cool because you want it to be as movie accurate as possible, and I appreciate that, man. I really do, actually.
It's like owning the head from the movie, and it was always a dream of mine to own. I mean, there's a lot of movie mold Friday the 13th pieces floating around because years of recasting and whatnot. So there is a possibility of owning, you know, like movie mold lineage pieces. it's a little pricey, but part 4 is always my dream piece.
Yeah.
I really like the Goes to Hell makeup as well, but finding that one is really hard. So this was definitely like a childhood dream right here, is owning a part 4 makeup.
And I gotta say one more thing about this before we get into price is the COA on this. Okay,
I'll bring
the
that up
COA
right here.
is, oh my god, guys, it is insane. So I'll put the camera over here on Riley real quick, and then I think I did a view on it, but it's a 3-page fold out, a trifold. Look at this. Give it a little here. Give it a little. I'm gonna kick it back to the camera. Look at that thing.
Yeah,
that is
it's
rad.
impressive. Very informative. It talks about the whole process and whatnot. And if you look over here, actually the original run of 13, which there will be more castings later down the line, but none of them will come with the COA that's actually signed by James Kagel.
Right.
So that's pretty impressive.
Which is cool. Yeah.
And numbered, signed by Nathan as well. So thank you, Nathan, for this project. And you can see some pictures of the process. Right?
Yeah, which is awesome, man. And so, and like I said, I think I'll try to do some kind of crappy overlay on this. I don't know. My editing skills, I'm old. Guys, give me a break.
We're amateurs.
Yeah.
Here, all right.
Okay. Before we get off here, because I told myself I wouldn't do 80-minute videos anymore.
We're trying.
Which I lie.
Trying not to suggest to sleep.
What did we pay for this guy, right? Once again, only a run of 13.
Right.
And this is movie mold. This is movie application stuff. This is crazy. So it doesn't sound cheap. So what are we talking?
And I think the thing sold out in like less than 3 hours, all like 13 castings. And I believe it is because the price was so reasonable. I believe this is $500 or $525 for this thing out the door.
Wait, $525?
Yeah.
Holy
shipping
shit.
Already included for this giant thing. And the dude got it cast all up in like less than a month, and got them out to us. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome. Nathan's pretty cool because he preserves a lot of movie history, and he's actually working on bringing movie mold Halloween 4 Michael Myers masks to the market right now.
Okay.
Another project on the way. So this dude's definitely resurrecting our 80s childhood dreams. I know he's got a CJ Graham Part 6 Jason Lynch hood. Yeah. So we might see something with that. But he's working on some really great stuff. So shout out Nathan.
Hey, man, awesome piece again. I promise we're going to get back to the mask part of this in a week, next week. But I couldn't pass up 2 busts.
Or obviously, we can bring in that other Nosferatu bust I got.
Oh, he does have another one, right?
We're going on the bust basement for a while, right? Okay?
Either way, I hope you guys are enjoying these. Some cool stuff. So, and I think a cool history lesson on top of this, that we have a little, piece here. You can come see it at the store if you're here. If not, I'll take it home.
Maybe I'll bring it in on Friday the 13th and you guys can look at it.
100% bring it on Friday the 13th. So, all right, guys. That being said, let's close the mask work door.